Good evening and thanks for watching Local 4 News at 10. I'm James Sears. Our top story tonight, 2 people are in the hospital after a motorcycle crash near Bluegrass, Iowa. It happened northbound on Highway 61 near Coon Hunters Road around 4:20 this afternoon. Lanes were blocked for almost 2 hours while investigators worked the scene. The Scott County Sheriff says a gray 2015 Harley-Davidson motorcycle lost control, ending up in a ditch. The driver was a 42-year-old man with serious injuries. The passenger, a 41-year-old woman with possible life-threatening injuries, both from Davenport. They were airlifted to Iowa City. Their conditions at this hour are unknown. Investigators in Kewanee are looking into a pair of early morning car fires. Fire crews were called to the 200 block of South Walnut Street and the 300 block of South Tremont Street about 2:30 a.m. Officials say the 2 car fires happened within 10 minutes of each other. The chief called them, quote, suspicious in nature. And if you see news happening, forward it to Local 4. Just download the Our Quad Cities app. It's available on Android and Apple devices, and it's free. You can sign up for breaking news notifications. Also share stories you want to see highlighted right here on Local 4. Nearly 200 Central Americans who caravan to the U.S. border have been told the San Diego border crossing cannot accept any more asylum seekers. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said it can only hold 300 people at a time. Maria Villarreal has the latest on the showdown at the Mexican border.
In Tijuana, Mexico, hundreds of migrants gathered at the border. Families with young children have very little with them. After nearly a month of traveling, their journey's end is blocked by a fence that some have defiantly climbed to draw attention to their ultimate goal of asylum. Maria Galvez, a mother from Honduras, is nervous about what might happen to her family if she tries to cross into the U.S. Galvez is part of a caravan of refugees that are now meeting with attorneys preparing to ask the U.S. for asylum.
Refugees are welcome here!
Supporters who marched from Los Angeles to San Diego are protesting on the U.S. side of the fence.
Watch the caravan. Watch how sad and terrible it is.
At a rally just outside Detroit Saturday night, President Trump blamed Democrats in office for the country's weak immigration policies.
I call them the dumbest immigration laws anywhere on earth. If a person puts their foot over the line, we have to take them into our country. We have to register them. We then have to ask them a couple of questions. Lawyers are telling them what to say, how unsafe they are. And once they say that, we have to let them go.
The group will now test the Trump administration's rhetoric criticizing their plans to seek asylum. People right now are being told that the processing could take a while as they are seeking asylum, and also they could be separated from their families during detention. Mireya Villarreal, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now, it is not illegal to enter the country at a port of entry and ask for asylum, as international law requires that the U.S. consider asylum claims. It should be noted, though, that more than 3/4 of immigrants seeking asylum from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala between 2011 and 2016 lost their cases, according to immigration court statistics. Well, Illinois Senator Dick Durbin will visit the Quincy Veterans Home tomorrow. He'll meet with local and state officials regarding the latest efforts taken to help manage and prevent further Legionnaire's disease outbreaks at the home. Since Durbin's last visit to the facility in January, 4 more people contracted Legionnaire's disease. 13 veterans have died there over the past 3 years. Fellow Senator Tammy Duckworth released a statement today urging an infrastructure overhaul of the Quincy home. She says, quote, Congress recently passed a bipartisan funding bill that infuses hundreds of millions of dollars in extra funding for state veterans' home construction projects. Governor Rauner must now do his part and be held accountable for acting swiftly to put these funds to good use on behalf of Illinois' veterans. Well, the spring-like weather made a perfect day for riding dirt bikes in East Moline. About 200 dirt bike riders braved the jagged, sandy terrains at Muddy Waters MX. Riders coasted up and down steep pathways and made plenty of sharp turns and jumps along the course. Awesome. Although many of the riders were either teenagers or young adults, several children as young as 4 got in on the action too. Riders say the sport is more than just ripping around in the sand. It's about feeling the adrenaline when you get some serious air on jumps.
The rush you get, it's a freedom in itself. When you ride your dirt bike, your mind goes clear and you kind of forget about the reality of life for a little bit. It's the getaway.
Well, the track has about 7 meets left and lots of practices in between. Their next race is on May 20th. And it is veggie growing time in Davenport. The Quad City Food Forest and volunteers planted seeds at the Black Hawk Gardens Food Forest in Davenport. This was their follow-up installation from Earth Day last week. They're growing fruit shrubs, sunchokes, and a lot of perennial vegetables like asparagus. Organizers say it'll build resilient local food systems and also help bring fresh produce to the community table straight from the garden. Their youngest volunteer says there's several benefits to planting.
It's fun, and you get stuff out of it, like sweet cucumbers and strawberries.
Every Saturday, the vegetables and fruits that are ready to eat are given out to the community, volunteers, and food pantries for free. Their next planting meetup will be on May 13th. A fun time out there, Kit, and great weather to be doing some gardening, and even the dirt bike riding too.
Yeah, especially being outside right now. It's nice and cool today. It was very close to average, but I mean, it's not too bad when you have sunny skies out there.